Hi, this is Fatima. Here let us look at how the ASP.NET Core model validation works. Before proceeding to this video, watch my previous video where we have discussed about model binding in ASP.NET Core application. Model validation. The data entered by the user may contain a typological error, or the user may intentionally enter the inappropriate data. Hence, we need to validate the user input before storing it into the database. The ASP.NET Core uses the model validator, which uses the validation attribute to validate the model, which makes our task very easier. So the model needs to be validated for the correctness. These validations can be done at the client side before sending the data to the server, or at the server side when the data is received from the client. The client side validation is important because of better user experience, while the server side validation should ensure the invalid data does not enter the system. Because of the client-side validation may fail for many number of reasons, we need to validate the data completely at the server side, even though we have done those validation at the client side. We have already learned how the model binding works in ASP.NET Core applications. When the HTTP request arrives, the model binder is invoked before passing the control to the controller action method. Model binder not only binds a value to the action parameter, but also validates them by using the model validator. The model validator runs after the model binding, runs a series of validations on each property of the model based on the attributes that you set on the model property. These attributes are called as validation attributes and contains the code which is used by the model validator to validate the model. And these validation attributes are also known as data annotations and are available in system.componentModel.dataAnnotations namespace. We need to import it in our view model to use them. All these validations run on the server side. Let us understand this with a simple example. This is an ASP.NET Core MVC application we have created with a simple empty project template. Let us use this in order to understand the model validation in ASP.NET Core. At this moment, this add product form does not have any validation in place. So if we submit this form without filling any of these fields, we will end up creating a new product and these fields are null. So let us apply the model validation for this form. So if the required fields values are not provided and the form is submitted, we want to display the required validation errors. Let us achieve this. To make these fields are mandatory, we need to apply the required attribute on the property of the product class. Let us add required property showing IntelliSense because this required attribute could not be found and it is present in system.componentModel.dataAnnotations namespace. So let us include this. So let us apply the same required attribute for all those fields. So now when the form is submitted, the action method add in this home controller class is executed. The model for this add product form is this product class. So we have included the required attribute on the property of this product model. So with the required attribute on this property of this class, if the value for this property is not present, then the validation fails. So we need to check if the validation has failed or succeeded. To do so, we need to use modelState.isValid property to check. So let us include it. ModelState.isValid property to check whether the validation has failed or succeeded. So if it is succeeded, we have to redirect to the action details. If the validation has failed, we have to return the same view so that the user can provide the required data and resubmit the form. This is showing intelligence because it's returning a view result. But for the if case, we are returning redirect to action. So we have the total return type as redirect to action result as of now. So in order to return both view result and the redirect to action result, we need to use the iAction result interface as a return type. Now let us display the model validation errors in the view add.cshtml view page. In order to display the validation errors, let us use the span element and use the ASP-validation for tag helper. In order to display the validation error associated with the name property of the product class, we need to use the validation tag helper for name property. Now we have applied the ASP-validation-for tag helper for both name property and description property. With these changes in place, now let's run the application and see the output. Click on this add product. So now the name and description are mandatory fields to be filled. Without filling these fields, now let us click on this add button. You will see the required validation message. So now you have clear idea about how to use the validation attributes. First, we need to update the model with data annotation attribute or validation attribute like required, etc. And also we need to use the validation tag helper to display the error message to the user. We have used ASP-validation-for tag helper to display the error message for the name as well as the description property. Finally, in the controller action method, we have to check the model state dot is valid, is failed or succeeded. In case of failure, we have to return the model view back to the user. If you enjoyed this video, our next video is about ASP.NET Core built-in model validation attributes, and let us see some customization in our next video. Thank you.